Good evening, free space. Give me a moment. Let me just get started here. Cedric, my friend, good evening. Yeah, I'm gonna also gonna have a short stream, Cedric, as well. Just wanted to it's weekend, so I wanted to do a quick one. Then I'm gonna spend some evening with my wife, and then work off stream on the things that we discussed. Just wanted to do a quick one now. My kid and my wife are cooking something, so I'm like, all right, let me do a fast one. Guests, yeah. Who doesn't love guests, right? Right. Let me see if my microphone is actually... I mean, every man loves guests over weekend, right? I mean, who doesn't like that, right? I mean, who would much rather do something else than cook for 3 hours, right? I mean, what crazy person would even imagine to do something else other than cook for 3 hours and clean for 2 hours after they're gone? I mean, right? Alrighty. Alright, so let's get started. Then they say it's average, yeah. Just suffocate them all. That's really what you have to do. No mercy for guests that say that, right? No mercy for those. Instantly, just put the poison in the food already. Don't allow them to get to the point of saying that. Yes, classics. Yeah, give me a second. Let me steal something from this other project that I'm creating. Where did we do that? I had somewhere a place where we generate a JSON off of the Swagger spec. Yeah, generate Swagger. Where did I? Util Swagger. Okay, let's go there. Generate Swagger. Util Swagger in this file. We'll go to that file. Come on. Utils Swagger. Let me just grab this. Yeah, exactly. This is kind of what I want. So let's... What webcam do you use? I think I have it all here. But I'm using Razer Siren Pro Ultra. Not Siren, sorry. Razer Kio Pro Ultra. Yeah, this one. I think it was 300 euros or something like that when I bought it. I don't know the price now. Yeah, it's still 350 euros. Yeah, it's basically I used to have DSL camera, but then it's a massive hassle to connect and keep the battery and all of that shit. Right? This is amazing. Now I have a teleprompter, so this camera now is behind the Elgato. I have this teleprompter, so basically the camera is right kinda behind the glass, so it's very nice. I can actually show it to you. Give me 1 second. I have another camera here. So wait, let me just add it as a source. Nah, give me 2 seconds. Add video capture, HD camera. So you can see here basically. So you can see the camera is right behind it. You see, like, you're looking through it. That you see, like, here's my chat. So you can see I can also, like, yeah. But yeah, that's how it looks like. So there's kind of there's one screen here, and there's my coding screen here, and then there's Elgato lights and the other shit, right? I mean, honestly, I didn't buy this necessarily for streaming, right? Only. I bought it also for YouTube videos. But I mean, if I was streaming more than once or more than 4 times a month, you could say that I'm some sort of a streamer, but I'm not really, right? It's very random how I stream. Very, very random, right? Okay, cool. So what I'm actually going to do now, and Cedric, you will also have to use this file. I'll explain why. So let's go to... Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is weird. Why did I... Okay. Whatever. Let's just say here... So basically, so let me show you one thing. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that, Cedric, but you will know in a moment. Okay. So you'll see what we can do soon. Yeah, so what I'm actually going to do once the server actually starts, we're going to say here generate Swagger JSON. We're going to implement this, right? And then if this actually works, you can see now we have this OpenSpec API instantly generated here, right? So what I can do actually, I can go to postman.com and I can just import this for us. So actually, I was just, for the streaming sake, doing it manually in Postman, right, like as I did here, right? So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to delete these resources, right? And you'll see in a moment, we'll just import the whole Swagger that we just already have, right? We just generated the spec off of that JSON. Yeah, exactly, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to log in. Yes, exactly, right? Let me just drink my protein. I just came back from the gym like an hour ago. 1 sec. Yeah, right. So we're gonna just import the JSON. I can actually just go over here and reveal it in Explorer. Then go here, and then I'll just drag it here. Yeah, so we'll import it. Importing, yeah, import the collection. So in theory now it should already appear in our cursor or VS Code as whatever you want. So let's refresh. And there we go, bam. No, actually, sorry, that's not it. Let's sync infrastructure. Yeah, programmer network, sorry. So there we go. So we should have now everything here, right? Yes, we do. Beautiful. Okay. So the current refactor that we've been doing, right, is this. It generated the wrong shit. So give me a second. That's a wrong. Yeah, that kind of sucks ass, but it's fine. So let's go to users router, register. Yeah, this is wrong. We're not using passport. What the fuck? Creates a creates a user used for registration. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. But it doesn't matter. That's fine. All right, let's close that, and let's close that and that. Where is it? Jesus Christ. Chat in front of the... honestly, yeah, I hear you, and I'm not gonna be spending much time here, but actually you're right. Maybe I can move that chat somewhere else. It's very hard to... Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know where to. When I hide the chat, then people start complaining that chat is not visible, right? So I don't actually know. That's the best place. We're not gonna be spending much time on that. Or actually, I can solve that by just dragging this a little bit here so you can see it, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, so let's maybe. I mean, the only thing I really now have left to do with this is really just test that everything works. So I'm probably gonna merge a lot of these changes now, Cedric, but you're gonna have to help me test them when you have the time. So you're gonna have to pull and test locally as well, because there's two huge PRs that I would like to merge. Not all routes, the entire user resource and few other things. As you can see, there's also a bunch of stuff that I've done when it comes to the front end. Yeah, this is not typical. This is not where we will try not to do this, because it's just when I have the time, I just hack it through very fast to try and get done with as many things as possible, right? Okay, we're gonna merge your PR here, of course, because you can see there's obviously, well, a lot of these changes are coming from pm log file and stuff, but yeah. G-Man, that's a good question, man. I think it's because also I'm multi-streaming. I'm also streaming on YouTube, and then it's kind of vice versa, right? People from YouTube don't see comments from Twitch, and people from Twitch don't see comments from YouTube. Alright, you know what? We could in theory try already. Yeah, on the screen, chat should be, honestly, from both platforms. Yes. Outplayed one. Good evening, buddy. How are you? And actually, let's just make a little change. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Thank you for asking. All right, so let's we'll attempt to push this to production. I know it's gonna break some things for sure, but that's what it is. That's just how it is. Let's instead of using a promise here, let's just async and await that, I suppose, right? Because we already have an async on line 4, so we can just await for this app listen, and then we can we can do this. But we'll also do this if the environment itself is. So we'll say if yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, not really. So that's so breaking production is not a nightmare, actually. If you're not breaking production, at least sometimes you're doing something wrong, right? That is the beauty of incremental changes and the beauty of moving fast and moving in small steps, right? If you're never breaking production, that means that you're not. That in many cases means that you're not moving fast enough, right? Breaking production is not something that that as long as you can fix production very quickly as well, then I would much rather break production than take weeks to release something, right? But you know, I built this whole platform in a live stream that I do 4 times a month, right? So it's also there's many exceptions that are being made here, right? So that's also, don't forget that, right? You know, building another Twitter almost alone, not anymore now. I have Cedric, but Building a combination of several pretty complex platforms alone is not a to-do app. I can tell you that much, right? So that requires a certain amount of corrections if you ever want to finish something, right? Otherwise, you will never finish anything, which is way worse than breaking something, right? I mean, G-Man, I get you. I've been working almost for 20 years in various companies and startups and bigger and small ones and stuff. And no, not really. No, I don't think there's no such thing as a startup, right? Startup is just a fancy name invented in Silicon Valley for people who wanted to feel cool about themselves. Startups are also companies, and doesn't matter if a company is big or small. That doesn't make any difference, right? If the point here is that you have companies who can still grow and become big, whatever that definition is, and still preserve their culture and their processes to be fast and agile. This is very rare, but it can happen, and it does happen, especially lately. So the premise that if you're growing as a company and if you're growing big, that the process has to also increase drastically is just a lame way to justify shitty managers and shitty people at their job, right? So, hey, our company now suddenly is big, so let's introduce more hierarchy and 16 more processes, right? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't have to work like that, right? Unfortunately, it more often than not does in fact work like that, which is quite stupid actually. But you know, it's a very dangerous thing to take as granted and take as true, because it's not true, right? It's absolutely not true. You can still build a company and scale it to hundreds, thousands of people and still preserve a level of agility if you know how, right? But because many people don't know how, then they introduce these processes, and then they say pretty much things such as, well, we are big now and we need this, trust me, we can't. No, that's false. All right, so what I'm actually going to do, I will just once more try to build locally. Yeah, well, it builds, right? And yeah. If it farts out, we'll just revert. That's why we have a... Absolutely, no, please never take everything absolute. There's no absoluteness in any industry. Of course that you can't make a mistake while you're in an airplane. That airplane would crash. Of course, we always need to give it a 20-30% of space for arbitrary things. So of course that you can't, of course that it depends on what you do, of course, right? In my case, and what I do now, and in many cases around the world, there's no 100% uptime doesn't exist. There's no company on earth that has ever, or that will ever have 100% uptime. That's impossible. That doesn't exist. It never will exist, no matter the industry. So of course that I'm not saying break your software intentionally. That would be a silly thing to say, and I don't think that any normal person would say that. But I'm just saying, you have to find what works for you and what are you willing to do to move fast. What is a way to keep agility at a large company? The way to keep agility is to build. The only way you can keep agility in a large company is that the company, when it was small, as it was growing, that it was sticking to its values and its ways, right? So you cannot, if the company that's grown isn't agile fundamentally, it's impossible to fix, right? So for example, let's imagine you and I have a company of 10 people, and we now have 100 people, but we trained the other 90 people as they were joining one by one on how we work. So how do you do that? Well, you give autonomy to teams. You create expert teams, and you implement things such as OKRs, objectives and key results, etc., etc. And you say, hey guys, this quarter we need to push this number there, that number there, this number there, and then you give you give that to the teams, and then teams decide what it is that they have to build, how to build it, etc. So the only way you can, one of the only ways to avoid that hierarchical hell and that bullshit argument is to create expert teams, and you give them trust, and you give them trust by training them that up until the point that they are part of the expert team, that you already have the trust, right? I worked at the Technical University of Denmark. I was part of one of the biggest infrastructure products in the world called Trugve. It's an infrastructure project for all technical universities in Europe to communicate and share documents. And that project has been prolonged several times. And every time they prolong it, it costs tens of millions of euros of your money and my money, because all of these projects are funded by the EU funds, which are basically taxpayers' monies, right? And the biggest problem with government-led projects is that nobody cares about how long they take, because nobody is putting in their own money. So if you're ever wondering why is it public sector sucks so much, it sucks because nobody cares about the money, because the money is not theirs. And if you ever wondered why private sector is so successful, well, in private sector you have people who invest their own hard-earned money, and they don't want to throw that money away. So that's why government sector is cancerous in many cases, because there's no accountability and nobody cares about that money. It's not, I don't give a shit if this project is prolonged for a year. Right? Alright, did we break production? Let's see. Most likely we did. Okay, it's fine. Let's see what we did. Oh, I see. Oh, I think I actually might know. Wait. For this project, I don't have staging. No. Jesus Christ, man. What do you mean reach US level salaries? Salaries in the US are not higher than the EU. Why do you think that? I think you're looking at salaries in Silicon Valley, where living standard is so expensive that after you pay for your rent and stuff, you're almost left with nothing, right? Jesus Christ, man, come on. Wait, I need to fix production now. I don't know why this relative import works like this. It makes no fucking sense. But there was another error, wait. So this is 1. And then there was my image classifier exited as well. Why? Wow, I actually have no fucking idea what this is. Doesn't matter, let me just fix this first. You have to understand that salaries are always bound to the place where you live, right? Salaries are not bound to there's no such thing, can we reach salaries in the US? You have to be more specific, right? Salaries are based on the location, demographics, living cost, and stuff like that, right? So I'm sure that there are many areas in the US where salaries are lower than EU, right? And vice versa. So you need to account for that, right? right? So you have to kind of to understand that, right? This is a cursor, a VS Code basically. Like you have to understand, like you cannot compare salaries like that. It makes no sense, right? In the US you have to pay for your own like social security, medicine, education and stuff, right? In EU, in Denmark here you don't, right? So that's fundamentally different. So in the US you have to pay for a lot of shit. Besides rent, you have to go and be diligent and responsible for paying your own healthcare, etc., etc. Here in Denmark, I don't pay any of that. All of that is because it's a social capitalism, right? So when you see a salary in a place, you have to account for, okay, well, that's the base salary. How much of that do I have left? What is the rent, right? I'm not a native Dane, no, but I live in Copenhagen, yeah. My Danish is still not very good, but I'm going to school. But yeah, at work we speak English because it's a very international company. We have people from Brazil, from the whole world, right? Our whole engineering, actually not just engineering, our whole company consists probably of, I don't know, 50, 60 different nationalities. Which is insanely low. I mean, that really depends how you look at it, right? If you think that it's low, then don't take the job, right? I mean, we can't dictate what is low or high based on our own expectations, right? The market dictates the salary, not our own wishes, right? So if the new grads are like suggested, and why do you think that's actually low? I don't think that's low. I mean, when you finish university, you suck at mostly everything, right? You're a liability. When you just finish university and you get your job, no matter in which industry, for months, you're a liability, right? So, I mean, like, the times where you are junior and you make, I don't know, XK in engineering is over, right? So we can't, like, it's not that our own desires dictate how much our salary should be, right? If somebody can, like, if you say 25K is too low, well, find something that's more than that, right? If you think that somebody is underpaying you and you're worth more, then, well, find it. I don't see a problem, right? I mean, let's even imagine I agree with you. Okay, well, find the one that's higher, right? What? The thing is, you know, I'm not a leftist, rightist, this or that, man. I'm a realist, right? If you ever think that you can do better, then do better, right? Like, I don't operate on a level of justice or fairness or whatever. Like, I know in my life that if I think that I'm worth more, I'll prove that to myself and I find a better place, for example. I'll never say, oh, I deserve higher salary. If you deserve higher salary, well, then find it. Otherwise, you don't deserve it, right? That it's just as simple as that. I mean, no offense to anybody, but it's but just logic, basic logic, right? You deserve more, yes, well, find it then. I don't see a problem. If you you think that you're worth more, well, find it. What is the... where exactly is the problem? I don't get it, right? What the fuck is happening, man? Okay. That's life, man. We are all underpaid, overpaid. That's very relative, right? That's only related to your ability to negotiate, right? And if you're ever wondering about that, put yourself in a position of a founder and ask yourself, would you just be very open-hearted and you would just be throwing the money away? Every single employer out there is going to try to pay you less, and every single employee out there will want to be paid more. That's just common sense, right? So, and then usually it ends up somewhere in the middle, right? You will not get what you want. Neither the employer is gonna get what he wanted or expected to pay, right? So, I mean, it's really that simple, right? I mean, no, there's really no. What do you think? What do you think about everyone being paid the same? I think that's the dumbest idea on earth. When I hear these arguments about woman pay, man pay, this is the most idiotic arguments that a human race could ever even utter or even communicate. Why are some people paid more than others? Because they fucking contribute more, man. That's why. You can put 5 men or 5 women next to each other with the same role, and every single of these teams is going to have people who are simply better, more involved, more devoted, more committed, and they produce more results. And that's why they're paid more. They're not paid more because they have a vagina or a penis or whatever, something like that. They're paid more in many cases because they contribute more. It's common sense, right? So you're going to get paid as much as you contribute. High contribute, that is bullshit. Most management, I'm not talking about management. I don't know what management has to do with this, right? I'm not talking about management. I'm talking about individual contributions. If you want to get paid more, either learn how to negotiate and respect yourself and become better. And right? I mean, I don't know what you suggest. I actually genuinely don't understand what people expect. Like what do you expect? You're gonna wake up and the world is gonna be this perfect place where everything works fairly. Like, come on, man. We have to grow up, man. Let's not behave like we're 5 years old, man. We don't live in a fairy land. Life is what it always has been, and probably it has been it's the best as it has ever been. Oh yeah, but I think this should be fair. It's not fair, bro. Like, learn to negotiate and learn to fight for yourself and contribute more, and you're gonna get paid more. It's so simple. And if you're not happy at your work, quit your work and find something else. I don't genuinely see the problem, right? It's all like, if you think you're worth more, well, what right? So what are we? There's no point in complaining, man. Like, unless it's gonna affect something. There's no point spending energy on things that change nothing, right? I definitely contributed. Yeah, well, I mean, I again have to say, that's your problem, man. I mean, don't take me wrong. I sympathize and empathize fully with you. Fully with you. But to say that every company on this earth is going to pay you as less as they possibly can, right? So that's just fact. That's not like some sort of opinion or whatever crap. That's just factual, man. Every fucking company on earth will try to pay you as less as they possibly can. And if you had your own company, you would also try and do the same. So let's not like bullshit each other, man. Let's not pretend here that we're some sort of a morally superior than someone else, right? I mean, come on, man. Let's not bullshit each other, right? If you had your own company, you wouldn't be also like begging people to pay them more. Oh, John Doe, I know that you want 20K, but I'm gonna give you 50 because I have a good heart. Come on, man, right? Let's become real here. Let's not do that, right? Learn the basic skills of communication, negotiation, and stuff, and that's it, man. I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just like the most dangerous thing one can do is create some sort of these like I don't know, like unrealistic expectations. Like these companies I read, like these people that I read on LinkedIn. Oh, I put so much effort into this company, and when I quit, nobody cared. It's like, dude, of course, it's just because you had completely wrong assumption and impression of what going to work means, doesn't mean that that's someone else's problem, man. This is literally the only thing a person has to learn about work. When you get a job, you have some skills, and somebody out there that's looking for these skills says, I'm willing to pay you this much. So work is all about this mutual agreement that you have some skills that somebody is willing to pay for. At one point in time, when you think that your skills need to be paid for more, or if the employer thinks that actually they're now overpaying you, that contract is no longer valid, right? So if at any given time in your career you think you're not paid enough, then you talk to your employer, and if they don't want to pay you more, then find something else. Because it's the other way around as well. If the employer thinks that no longer you are valuable the money that you initially agreed with, they will fire you, right? So that it's really that simple. Do I feel agitated? I think I'm agitated naturally. Yes, that's my true nature. Yes, absolutely. Actually, Cedric, they can't sign up right now because I'm fixing these imports. The production now is down, so I'm just gonna go through some of these files that we've updated. I'll just quickly skim through some of the stuff. There's some auto imports that got messed up. Yeah, this one. Jesus Christ, man. Come on. They can bookmark it. Yeah. I'm somehow skeptical about that, to be very frank with you. I'm somehow skeptical about that. I can tell you that much, man. Imports do work locally, yeah, but they don't work in production. Well, I'll have to fix that at one point. Yeah, I just wrote a lot of code in a very short period of time when I had it, so I'll just very quickly go and validate the rest of it. That's good. That's good. That's good as well. I don't think that any of this has actually changed, so we should be good there. this folder no longer exists, or actually maybe it never did. Yes, very good, very good, very good, and very good. Notifications. Yes. Nice. Yeah, this, yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Let's globally search for this. All right, let's push this as well, and let's keep on looking. That's kind of the bummer, but it's okay. Actually, didn't, honestly, to be very frank with you, I didn't expect I would actually have those, but it's okay. Well, we need to fix the tooling so it actually properly resolves the relative imports, right? And we'll maybe do this in the stream today. I'm not going to be streaming long, so I'm not sure, but let's just skim through a few other places as well. RSS. Yes, that's good. That's kind of good, I guess, right? We're missing some types, I'll see it, but once we get to these resources, we'll kind of fix that, right? Tags, sure. Cool. Cool. Thoughts. Yeah, nice. Nice. Cool. Great. Yes, nice. And let's see here. Very good. Very good. Very good as well. Yeah, we'll need to install some type definitions and stuff eventually once we get to finalizing these, refactor of some of these resources from before. Let's see over here, I sense, yeah, so this is wrong for sure. Or actually, is it? No, that's good. No, that's actually good, but... Yeah, this is actually... No, that's... Sorry, all good. All good, actually, in fact, there. Date utils. I don't think any of this has changed, but let me just skim through it, because I did rewrite some of this stuff. String utils. I don't think I've touched this string utils. Swagger utils. This is the one we just moved in. Cloudflare images, sure. Types, indexed, yes. Should be okay, I think, as well. Yeah, it is. Validation. Should be fine as well. And then we have a bunch of these config files, which I don't think we've changed. But let's skim through it very quickly. Cedric, my friend, I love you, dude. Have a nice time with your guests, man. And we speak maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, whenever you're available, man. Just let me know. Alright, so that's cool. Migrations. Enjoy the guests, man. Hopefully they're gonna like the food, dude. Alright, cool. So let's go to our GitHub. Let's see. Most likely we didn't fix the production yet, but let's see if this has deployed. Yeah, so it has deployed. Let's go to Programming Network. Yeah, so it's still farting out. Fine. Let's see what's the problem now. Oh, I see. Very good. Okay. So the only thing now we're missing is the environmental variable. Is it open source? It is not. No. I have a bunch of libraries I wrote for this project, but they're not open source. No. All right, give me a second here. So I think that's the last thing we need to kind of fix. Image classifier API URL, yeah. Yeah, so we'll actually add it here. And this is not really a secret, it's rather a, if we take a look at our Docker Compose, so it's really just the image classifier basically it's the name of the image itself. So it's really this one, right? Image classifier. So that should fix that. Did I actually add this env though? Did I add it to my Docker Compose over here? I did. So our server picks that up in production, right? We did. Yeah, that should kinda be fine, I believe. Yeah, I think so. So which project do we need to push actually? Do you do freelancing? I do not, no. Unfortunately not. I have a wife and a kid and soon another kid. So to be very frank with you, there's simply no time. No time and no desire either. Because frankly, it's very important to preserve good quality of life as well. Because yeah, you can, in this industry, you can make almost as much money as you want. But the price you pay is always your life and your family, right? And my family for me is the most important thing on, right? So no. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and I'll restart this service. So now we have added the env, right? The image classifier URL here. So we're passing it now down to the API. Yeah, we are. Great. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Do I have the time to do freelance? Yes. I mean, like, this stream that I do very occasionally could be the time when I do the freelancing, right? But freelancing would not be something that I enjoy. And streaming occasionally here, I do enjoy. Not always, for the most part I don't, but there are time to time when I click this stream button and I show up in front of you guys here. But you always have the time. I mean, time is, you can have 15 kids, and if you want to do something, you will find the time, right? So the time is always, the time is directly correlated to your ability to focus and know what you want and be consistent and truly know that there's something that you want to do. If you're constantly in confusion or procrastinating, then of course it always feels like you don't have the time. But if you truly want something, you will find the time. You will do it in 3 a.m., 5 a.m., but you will find the time. So the time argument, especially when you're young, is ridiculous. Everybody has time, unless you're doing 2 jobs, which you're not, right? So I don't have the time and shit. Only people who are lazy or undecided or procrastinators say this thing. I don't have you. Of course you do have the time. But when people say I don't have the time to go to gym, that is the biggest lie that exists. Of course you have the time, right? It's just people are bullshitters in general, so it's easier to complain than actually do something, right? So of course we all have the time. It's just some people know how to prioritize and do something with their lives, and some people don't. And that is really the only fun. That's basically what differentiates people who succeed, whatever success is for you, and people who don't, right? So that's really that's really it. So everybody has the time, man. Okay, there we go. Jesus Christ. All right, cool. So we're back. We are live. We still have our image classifier failing whatsoever, so we'll need to fix that. We'll need to fix that. So our image uploading, basically now it's gonna be broken. And yeah. I've just pushed a lot of code. Which error are you getting? Let me actually try myself, because most likely, I mean, I pushed a lot of, let's see, because you're right, something easily could, yeah, actually, no, it's fine. Did you get an email? Did you confirm your email and stuff like that? What error are you getting? And yeah, as I can see, I've broken the avatar here as well, it seems. Let's see. Which is fine, it's okay. Yeah, well, you can't log in if you haven't confirmed your email, no. I mean, that's, you can't do that on anywhere. No platform is going to allow that, right? So this is now kind of broken, it seems. Yeah, it did. It did tell you that when you signed up. If you signed up with username and password, you saw a little text. Please check your email. Unless, yeah. Unless something went off. Okay, so now we'll need to actually, yeah. And fuck, we also need to... Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe actually... Guess I have another very big PR that I have to merge as well. And that is the front end one. Where is it? This one. Yeah. So I'll actually merge this one now in the front end as well. Yeah. So that's maybe also the issue. So you're right. Maybe something did not end up working on your end. So let me just merge this as well. And let's go to our Cloudflare pages. Yeah. And then I'll need to take a look at... your focus is coming back. Nice, man. Classifier. So what did I do here? What did I do here with Docker file? Nothing really, right? You mentioned yesterday that you don't like Python. Don't like would be kind of... if I said that, which I believe that I did, I actually did, I remember. I don't think it was yesterday. I don't know when I streamed last time. For sure it wasn't yesterday. Maybe last weekend or whatever. It's not that I don't like it. I just don't think that the language itself... okay, let me put it this way. There is absolutely no reason for one to build web APIs in Python when things like Golang exist, nodejs exists, and TypeScript, etc. So Python I would use, of course, for data science because it is the language of data science, NumPy and TensorFlow and stuff like that, right? So unless you're a data scientist, it's a very hard to find a tangible, it's very hard to find any reason why you would write your API, for example, in Python and not in many other languages out there. So instead of saying that I dislike it, let's just put it that way. It's very hard to find a reason why would you write something in a fully dynamic language without types when you have a lot other alternatives which are better. When I say better there, I'm not gonna even talk about performance. I'm just gonna say that at the very least they have type system, right? All right, was this merged? No, it's not merged yet. Free space. Just to be clear, we have more than 2,000 users on this platform who signed up, right? So the fact that I would expect you to be able to sign up. This platform has been live for a long time. It's just now I'm pushing a lot of code, so you might get some into some caching issues and stuff like that, right? Well, not just because they're faster, because faster usually is a meaningless comment, right? Faster is a very vague statement, right? So it's just well, I mean, I guess you get what I mean, right? Okay, so this is now also merged. And as far as I can see, yeah, my API isn't actually, so I'll fix these tiny things now because I pushed shit tons of code. You can actually see that the avatar is not properly returned, it seems, which is weird. And what else do we have? What if I do me? So avatar is in fact properly returned here. Okay, got it. So let's actually start now kind of fixing some of these things that I broke. So let's go to users.model. Let's go to, no, sorry. Let's go to the service. The problem I get, the input is still annoying. It moves the focus to back if I enter an uppercase letter. I don't think that you can only do lowercase. Which input is that? Username input you're saying? I've never seen that before. Let's test it together. I'm not aware of that. Let's see. So you're saying if I sign up... Okay, let's try. Let's try. Email a@b.com. Password. Okay. Create account. Sure. Wait, let me get my Docker logs very quickly. I should get a confirm email screen. Yes, okay. And you're saying this thing is annoying here. Okay, let's take a look at that. Foo. Okay, so it's true that I'm enforcing lowercase there. What I don't understand, what do you mean that it's putting you back? Okay, I'm trying to type in capital characters now. I can't, which that's expected, right? Enter something and then try to add an uppercase at the beginning. Okay, foo. And then I go back. Okay, so I don't get it. So what is the problem? Oh, come on, man. I get it. But seriously, like, you find this to be a problem? Really? So you think it's a problem because the cursor was put back at the end? Is that what you're saying the problem is? So I get what you're saying. But I mean, this is a massive edge case. I thought you found something that some bug or whatever. Yeah, but... Alright, no, fair enough. I mean, if it annoys you, that's fair enough, right? But I thought there was some bug or something. I see. Okay. I got it. Okay, sure. Alright, cool. Got it. Thank you. Awesome. Maybe I should add some text saying, hey, you can only enter lowercase characters there. All right, so okay, yeah. Sky Websys, thank you very much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate that. Get user by username. Okay, so something here is messed up. So something here is messed up, and most likely... Give me 1 second. So this to JSON maybe breaks the virtuals. So I wonder if this guy here... Wait, let's use the AI a little bit. Does this... will this include virtual fields? And then let's actually go also to user model. I think it should. All right, I mean, dude, just say, I don't know. Okay. And I think, yeah, this is gonna be also a little bit messed up here. Yeah, shit. Ooh, I shouldn't have pushed that. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. We need to fix that. And that's a little bit tougher to fix, I think. Because I need to do a lot of work there. But okay, let me just take a look at this one. So the me returns the proper stuff, right? It does in fact return the avatar, but this guy doesn't. So basically that's what we're looking at here. Where is the service? Dimitrovich, hey buddy, how you doing, man? The only thing I can think about is that this is really an issue, right? That's the only thing I can assume. All right, let's start debugging a little bit here. Let's try printing stuff. So let's see what this yields. This thing should have a virtual field, which is the avatar. So let's actually go here. Avatar, data values. What? I forgot, how do we change the base URL? It was somewhere around here, I believe, if I recall, right? There were some options here. Create new, no. I don't know, I guess, is it... Let's try that like this, base URL, type default initial current value. Let's say, what was it? Where's, I think localhost 5000, right? Yeah. So, yeah, exactly, right. So that should be initial. Let's just put both of them, right? I'll just remove the, yeah, so let's save that. Okay, user not found. That's good. Username Alexander. A little bit weird though. Ah, I see what's happening. So it's appending the query parameters. That's wrong. This is not really a query. This is a URL parameter. Where are the URL parameters? Can we actually append them here? Let's get rid of this. Path variables, username, string. Yeah, but is there... Alright, well fuck it, we'll just smack the Alexander in there. Okay, so let's just test here without needing to go and refresh that page. So we can see that avatar that we get back is empty, and it shouldn't be. So I suspect it's something to do with a virtual field. Let me actually get rid of this. Let me try to include more data, not less. Let's wait for the server to restart. Avatar, social. Let's also kind of go to... let's comment out our validation schema, just so we also... Just return everything as is. Yeah, but that's also not correct. What? Get user by username. Yeah, we have that. Do companies in Denmark hire devs without... Yeah, they do. I think that happens everywhere around the world. If you can pass the interviews and show some knowledge, of course, yeah. Oh crap, I commented out the wrong thing. Yeah, my bad. Okay. So this is now unfiltered, basically. Avatar. Avatar, okay. Huh. That is weird. Okay. So let's go here. This UI is fucked up. It doesn't really matter. We need to fix that anyway. If we do this now again, we do have the avatar ID, but I still don't see the virtual field, which is the avatar itself. Oh, actually, we do see it here. All right. If I actually refresh this, we see it now, right? Okay, so let's start commenting back stuff. So if we comment back the select attributes here, right? Let's see if that still works in the UI. Let's wait for the API to Docker container to... Yeah, so the problem seems to be here, right? Mike, I'm sure that that's true to some degree, right? But that's also true. That's also false to a huge degree as well, right? So do some companies use AI to filter out candidates? Sure, but what does that have to do with anything, right? Companies have been doing that for 20 years, right? So I don't honestly see. Yeah, I don't see what that has. What is the value of that, right? Wait a minute, what the fuck? Am I... Ah, Jesus Christ, Alex, come on. Hey, Chica, my friend. Good evening. Why would this? It makes absolutely no sense. I actually don't get it. Why does it not work? Why the attributes? Why would providing attributes break the behavior No, but I fully got you, Mike. And again, I'm saying, do some companies do something? Sure, right? But that's, I mean, what is the value of saying that, right? It's very vague. Do some companies filter candidates like this, like that? They do, and then there's a bunch of them they don't, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So the point is like what you're saying is true, but it's kind of meaningless in a way, right? Do some companies do this and that? Sure, they do. I mean, I know countless people who don't have a degree and they have a job and they're seniors for many years, right? So how common it is, what can I tell you? I mean, right? There's bulk, exactly. So how common it is, I don't know, man. I mean, I cannot tell you anything of value without lying to you, right? So how common it is, who knows, right? I don't certainly, nobody knows, but companies do various different types of things in various different types of domains, right? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me just ask my AI. Yes, when using SQL as ORM methods like find one, if you specify the attributes property control which fields to include, virtual field might not be included automatically. This is because virtual fields are not actual database. I know what they are. Shut the fuck up, man. When using this argument, SQL strictly includes only fields present in the data array, since virtual fields, yeah. To ensure that virtual fields are returned properly while using attributes, you need to explicitly include them. Here's how. I don't think anybody has insight in that, Mike. That data doesn't exist. You're practically saying how many companies filter out their CVs using AI. I don't think such data exists. You can have 50 years of experience as a programmer. That doesn't make you know that type of stuff, right? Because that's practically what you're saying. Hey, Alex, how many companies filter CVs with AI? There's no such data set that exists to tell you that, right? And that's why I'm saying companies do millions of things differently from each other, right? So nobody can tangibly calculate that. That's the point, right? So I can tell you that only thing that I can tell you is that people do get jobs, and you shouldn't focus on that. I guess my point is you should focus on companies that don't do that, not the companies that do that, right? I don't think this is correct. I think AI is hallucinating. So I think it's hallucinating. Man, you see, so this is always going to be, for a long time, going to be the problem of AI. Now it's telling me that I'm right. And a second ago, it was sure that what it wrote is correct, right? So it's, yeah. No. If I remove the attributes, it works. So the attributes breaks virtual fields, right? So that's already what we came to a conclusion to, right? Let's actually try to set raw to false, even though I believe it is false by default. So I don't know why. We don't interview people by degree. We interview them by experience and by knowledge, right? So in my company, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what we do. We can say we can go here and add the avatar, right? It doesn't matter. This is not a virtual field. The avatar is a virtual avatar. This is gonna work. It's gonna return this, right? So that's for sure. And of course, I mean, the response is gonna suck here is because we have the response schema as well, right? So let's actually let's go here, and at least for actually, so the schema is already commented out, so that's good. Let's actually move this here. Try that. Really, really weird, yeah. And then we get it all. So if I remove the attributes, right, we get all of it, which is super weird. So passing attributes messes something in relation to virtual fields for sure. Because otherwise we can see that I'll just try all possible variations of it, just as a brute force way to check it out. Did I by accident close that? I did. Where was it? This guy, right? No. So yeah, avatar ID is included, as you can see, but the avatar, the virtual field, isn't. That really sucks ass, man. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Let's see if there's anything here about virtual fields, right? No, there's nothing here about virtual fields. No, not really. No, definitely not. It's just that the models are always capitalized. That's one of the main points of them. So no, definitely not. This is a new thing. It's just that when I refactor this, I've yeah, I don't actually know. There's no field mismatches, 100%. It's not that. It's equalize. This works for 2 years, right? So there's no mismatches of any kind. This is just something to do with the virtual fields. Because my virtual field is called avatar, and that's really it. I should not need to get avatar ID or anything like that, right? If they claim that it works, which it should just appear here as avatar, right? Where is it? Where were we? Service, right here. This is an array, right? Yeah, a string array, yes. Let me try one thing. I'll just hard code it here, just for my yeah. So avatar value is empty, right? Which is weird. It shouldn't be, because I do have an avatar, right? Yeah. So maybe it's something else then. Let's see. Maybe it's refactor gone wrong in a different sense. Let's see. Maybe I'm giving the username. Where username attributes raw include the tag, yes. Let me not use to JSON. Maybe to JSON does something where it omits virtuals or whatever. No, it's equalize. It's equalize. Let's print the user. Let me open my my logs. So yeah, so the avatar ID is there, that's correct. Yeah. So you can see there's no avatar included at all in the response, right? So that's the problem. So for sure, so like at this point I'm almost certain that the providing attributes for whatever reason excludes the avatar, right? If we do avatar ID, which is of course the field in the actual table, of course the model is the abstraction, so it keeps our, like you can see here, avatar ID is an underscored, of course, right? we will include the avatar ID, of course, but we don't actually care about that. So useless, man. This is so fucking annoying, man. Incredible. Just what a waste of time. It's okay. I'll just do it the other way. Oh, I see. Even though this kind of makes no sense, right? Alright, so that should kind of fix it, right? Alright, so that's good. This should work now, I think. Yeah, so this should work now and the avatar should be fixed. Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that, but I'm a little bit disappointed that the native behavior of this ORM is as such. That fucking sucks, man. Like, big time. Sucks big time, but that's what it is. Alright, cool. Let's deploy this to production. Super shitty, man. Super shitty, dude. That I have to use my own custom utility functions to exclude attributes. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, actually. I don't like that at all. But that's what it is. Let me just deploy this. I do, of course, yes. I host this on Hetzner. The whole. Actually, I'm recording a course for Udemy on infrastructure. Hopefully, in a couple of months, I'll manage to finish that. Alright, cool. So we've deployed that. Let's now fix this crap in the front end. Yeah, I shouldn't have even deployed that, to be honest with you, actually. This image upload crap I shouldn't have even deployed, but I need to fix it now. That's just what it is. Fuck. Yeah. I think I've created this. Yeah, maybe the face was the problem. I'm sorry, I had to. You called for it. I'm sure it isn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. No, sorry, I couldn't. You just said it in my brain instantly, like, fuck. I have to use the opportunity, right? Fuck. Maybe you scared off some people at Hetzner. Alright, let's call it there. Let's stop the joke there. Alright, cool. Alright, let's do some front end. Front end. Fucking front end, man. Alright. Laughing outside, crying inside. I know, man. I know, my dude. I sympathize. We're us dudes. We all do the same, don't we? Right? Oh no! Fucking hell, man! Come on, dude. No. Ah, shit, man. I don't want to do this now, man. Oh no, 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 no! Crap. Alright, I'll do it. Shit. But it's not gonna be fun, I can tell you that much. It's not gonna be fun. Nah. Whew. Alright, because this is the open source library I built, so... React crop bullshit, yeah. Wait, let me just think here a little bit. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I don't wanna... I really didn't want to do this now. But I need to now. Shit, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we need to do that. That's nothing. I need to fix that. And I don't want to fix that. Fuck, man. God. I don't want to fix that now. Alright, actually no. Yeah. Better to do it than... Yeah, that's... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's just it. Okay. Image dialog. Let's call it image dialog. Yeah. This is hard. This is hard to do right, but we need to try. Alright, so let's go to... Let's try to mimic this thing. I need to try and mimic some of this crap here. Wait, let me think. I need to think a little bit. So we have the image input, which is my core component over here. Yeah. Then I have my modal. Okay, let's write that. Fuck. All right, where is it? Image dialog. Where is it? Are you using cursor? Yes, sir, I am. Image selector, image. What the fuck? Where is it, man? Image dialog. Image dialog. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, this is tough, and you'll soon know why it's a little bit hard. I built this whole core library, but this is gonna be a little bit annoying. Okay. So what do we need to do here? So we need to do a few things. Let's just write a meta code here, or no, let's just write some description. So when an action is triggered, open a dialog with image crop, right? Well, wow, that's what we need to do. So I think I have my own dialog somewhere. So we're gonna wrap this actually in a dialog, which is my core component. I'm using the native dialog from the HTML5 browser, from the browser itself. And what does the dialog have? Well, how did I build it? It gets a ref, sure. Actually, I probably do have a dialog use case. So let's see, dialog stories, yeah. Dialog stories, sure, okay. Ah, nice, super. So let's grab, let's copy this just so we can, I don't remember how do we use it. Now I do, because, well, okay. So let's generate all of this crap, of course, so we don't write it manually. Image dialog, yeah, sure, yeah, let's import that. Cool, the ref, we're gonna have to forward the ref as well, unfortunately. So we'll need to forward the ref there. All right. All right, so that opens some dialog. Cool. Yeah, all right. Then the dialog, right? It needs the children, so that's what we need to give it now. Outplayed, thank you, man. I don't think that I've done much, to be very honest with you, but thank you, dude. And then here I'll just say paragraph for now. And I'll say, actually, do I have a paragraph component? I do. Okay, cool. I'll just say lorem 50. Okay, cool. So we have that. Now the pain starts, unfortunately. Okay, so now when we open this, we need to pass in an image. So we need several things. We need to select an image, and then once we select an image, we need to spawn this thing, and then inside of this thing, we need to crop the image, right? So we need this other component I built called image input or whatever. Image selector, no. Image dialog, image input, yeah. I need this. Okay, cool. So it's actually going to be this instead of that. So we're going to say image input on file loaded. And how am I actually doing it in our actual product? When I see that, I'm very happy to... The thing is, the biggest irony of that, I mean, I don't really disagree with you, right? The biggest problem is if you can't do front-end development, then you can't really build a product, which means you can't really build anything useful on your own, right? So this is not a matter of do I like it or not. I mean, the premise that I have to like everything I do in life is also silly, right? So this has nothing to do with front-end development. This is no different if you're building a Windows application or Mac OS or any other client-side application. It's inherently complex because, of course, all of us would love to live in a fairyland where we just build generic APIs that respond some data, right? But of course that people have a revolt towards front end is because most people actually suck at it big time, right? Because who wouldn't just want to write for loops and if statements and send data from A to B, right? So I don't like the negative connotation that's created around the front-end development because everybody is shitting on it, but everybody is still using this websites. I mean, for those people who have a grudge against it, then open your websites in your terminals and don't use the browser at all. I mean, if I would show some character, I would probably do that, right? Because fundamentally, again, if you ever want to build a product, then you can't build the interface, whatever that interface is, a smartwatch interface, a native app or a web app, then practically you can't really build anything useful, right? At least not on your own. And that is the irony of it, right? So liking it or not, right? If you ever want to build something, you need to know how to build a UI, right? It's not that I love it myself, but I actually want to build things, and in order to build them, I have to do it. Unless I have someone else who is willing to do it, right? No, free space. I absolutely, dude. I don't disagree with you at all. Is writing interfaces inherently fun? Not really, for the most part. My point is mostly like, if you ever have an aspiration to build anything that users interface with, you need to build an UI of some sort. Maybe for you, you might end up building your interface through a terminal. So you might one day build a product that developers use the terminal. That's also an interface, right? But I'm just saying, if you ever have a desire to build a product that people use, you will never do that without building user interface for it, because that is ironically, relative to developers, the only thing that users care about. They care about the experience with the application that they're interfacing. They can't give a crap about the backend, the database, the infrastructure, the platform engineering, and whatever, right? So that's my only point. Yeah. I guess we do need this outside, most likely, right? Yeah, most likely we do, right? I see. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so, okay, so that's that, right? Now we need to have an actual crop. So we actually have to select an image that we then actually give it, and then we attempt to crop it, right? Yeah. And this is now the point that, yeah. So I do have an image crop here, another component that I built long ago. Well, I didn't build it, I actually just wrote an abstraction around it, but either way. So I guess the content of this is gonna have to be image crop. And unit, let's say it's going to be pixels or whatever, so let's just keep it dummy as is. Image dialog, select an image, whatever, and then that kind of opens in a modal. Okay, cool. Yes, okay. Now the dialog itself has a class name, which apparently right now I'm passing from the outside. Yeah. So let's try to play with these things. This is actually, no matter what, how it seems, very difficult to do right. Okay, I mean, to actually just showcase what we're building here now for Programmer Network is really this, right? So if I go to my avatar on GitHub and click edit and say upload photo and select a photo, right? We then need to get this window so we can crop the image and then set it. So now I'm taking this away from the profile for Programmer Network. Basically, now with the latest change, I just broke it here, right? So I broke it here. You can see now if you go there, it's gonna be fucked. So I want to fix that, but I also want to fix it. I also want to fix it by fixing it for the whole network. So whenever I need an upload image somewhere, it's kind of polymorphic, generic functionality, no matter what you're uploading, right? So just to be clear, and there's a lot of stuff involved into doing these types of things, validation and stuff. That stuff works. Okay, so now, okay, cool. So now, when this event fires on file loaded, I remember because I built this, here we're gonna get the data, and then this data is gonna have a base64 image and some other stuff. So if I actually go and take a look at that interface, if we take a look at on file loaded, you'll see we have base64 image, we have a file blob, I believe. Yeah, we have a blob, right? So we now need to kinda, when this file loads, we need to set it in the state, and then we need to give it here as an src to image crop. So we crop that specific thing, right? So here we'll need to say set image exactly. AI is obviously gonna give us a little bit of a hand here, and yes, exactly. And then over here we'll set the base64 image. I'll actually get rid of the children here for now. Let's see if base64 works with my crop. And actually, as you can see, it does. So now if I select a specific image, we're basically cropping that image, right? Okay, great. Okay. And then the set crop as well is now set to null, right? So that's also wrong, right? So we need to, yeah, do something like this, exactly. Yes. And then the crop is complaining that, hey, Alex, your type is wrong. type string is not, let's say actually it's percentage, and let's say as const here. Oh, I see. So actually I don't think we need this. I think I do have some interface for this called iCrop or whatever. Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. All right. So technically I should be able to crop, but the outer window is wrong. The size of the outer window is way too small, I think, which is the dialogue itself, right? So so we need to now, and this is the hard part now, or a little bit hard. We need to, so this is the, so let's say that the size of the picture is going to be 90% of the total space of the container. Or that's actually the crop area, so that's where the crop starts, right? So if I say here 500 by 500, yeah, it doesn't actually like that for some reason. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yeah, so the sizing of the modal that gets spawned isn't actually correct. Let's see why. So where's our modal? So this is the dialog. Okay, let's see how are we passing this down. Dialog gets the class name. And how did I build the dialog? Let's see. All right, so it seems that I need to override the default, right? So in essence, I need to put an exclamation mark in front of these things in order for this to take maybe place. We can see that the height seems to be correct, but the width isn't correct. You can see if they say width, so if I would actually do this, yeah, right? So the problem is, why am I not overriding this now? Wait. So I should kind of, this should be, this class name should kind of be, let me do one thing. Let me do this, let me restart the storybook. Big Blaster, hey buddy. Well, I'm not gonna be streaming much today, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I want to be a bit with my wife. But hey, man, thank you for passing by and saying something. I appreciate that, dude. All right, so that's cool. Yeah, so that's maybe the only thing that sucks ass a little bit there, right? Is that when I built this, right, long ago, I don't know why did I enforce the width like that, right? Let's actually try. But then it farts out without it. No, actually now it's fine, right? Yeah. And then of course, over here now, if we go to the actual thing we're building, image dialog, right? I have the image input here that expects some classes. Okay, so let's say class input wrapper class name, and then we have the inner class name, which let's try here bg cover. So this is the wrapper, right? Sure. So this in theory should be full width and height. And then I have this guy here. I have the input itself. Really? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Oh, image input. Okay, sure. Okay, well, so we have a dialog, we have the content inside it. So first we need to ensure that the image, when loaded here, occupies the full width, right? So that's number 1. And it seems that the image crop by default, I see what I did there, okay. So here we need to do some shit. Image crop wrapper needs to have the... So actually I shouldn't do anything here. All right, I see. All right, let me just do one thing here. Oops. I'll just do what I'm already doing in there. And then I'll do this as well, just for the sake of sanity and seeing what I've done before. Okay. So now technically the window should always be the size of the image itself that you selected, right? Almost. So if I select something a lot bigger, like a wallpaper, it should technically go, or yeah, so it should be contained always within these. And then the inner thing has the object cover, it's absolutely positioned, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I see. And I think that's what GitHub is doing as well, I believe. Then of course we don't want to have any scrolling here, so we should disable the overflow, right? And then if we kind of nuke this, or actually say Yale with full height full, let's see if that would kind of keep the picture go full width. Or it needs the, yeah, that's the problem now, shit. Can I do min width max, right? Fuck. In Tailwind, you can prefix your classes because this is my library that I'm building for Programmer Network separately. So you can in your Tailwind config, you can add this prefix, and then Tailwind then generates all of the Tailwind classes with with that prefix, and also of course you then have to write the prefix as well. Fuck. All right. All right, so that's, I guess, fine. Overflow we can set to be hidden, right? And then technically you can say, well, now you're cropping the whole image, right? And it's always going to be 500 by 500, and here we're enforcing it to be a cover, basically. So saying, hey, always do that, right? Now the only problem with that is that it's going to shrink the image in a very shitty way if we do this, right? But if we omit the actual height, can we do something else with the height, like say full or something? No, we can't. All right. So this is something I'll need to think through. Very, very painful. All right, I'll need to finish soon. Let's chat a bit. Let's see if anybody has any questions. I can hear that my wife. I'll need to go and put my kid to sleep. But before I do that, let's see if there's any questions. As I said, it's gonna be a short stream today, but hopefully we see each other soon again. Let's see if there's anybody who wants to, who needs some input or whatever. Yeah, to need my input with. Let me just see. Craft, hey. Of course, my pleasure. How is life? How do you use Storybook? When I create components, I test them on the real product. Shoots them, I'm not sure. I don't think that has very little. That's very little to do with that. Storybook as a pattern is something that probably is the best pattern that UI community has gotten since it exists, is because it enables you to lay out all of your components and their respective states. Of course, that you're gonna test components in the real product, but that has very little to do with Storybook. Storybook enables you to have a product of all of your components and all of the states of these components. So you can have a button, a disabled button, hovered button, spinning button, etc., right? So the whole point of Storybook is that you can lay out these components and know how they look in all states. How does my table look like when it's broken? How does my table look like when it's scrolling? How does my table looks when it has 45 different columns, etc., right? So the Storybook simply is a way to isolate your component on a micro level, so you can test them, know how they look like, know the states, and then of course so your designer and your PM can do that as well. Very nice, Craft. Very nice. Free space, man. Thank you very much as well. I wish I can stream more, but I want to be with my wife and my kid a bit. And I have a feeling there's a bunch of this stuff I have to fix off stream. And yeah, that's kind of it. Not much to say. But thank you, man. Thank you for coming, as always, of course. And all of you. I'm always here if you have any questions or anybody needs help. So yeah. But I'll probably go ahead and fix a bunch of these things off stream later on when my wife and kid fall asleep. So, yeah. Cool, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish you a good evening. And, yeah, if you have a minute, go and sign up on Programmer Network. I'll fix some of these recent things I just introduced, some of these bugs. And, yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon, whenever we both have time, you and myself as well. Yeah. Peace out, everybody, and have a good day. Bye. Cheers, everybody.